welcome back, my fairies. I am Matsurific, and we are back with another Scarlet and Violet reaction video, but this time there is no trailer to react to. This is actually a video posted by Serebii, and it's world's first shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet. So this is going to be about how shiny Pokemon work in the new games, and I'm so excited. So, yeah, we're going to be reacting to this video. It's about 12 minutes long. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let's also reduce this audio too.
International and Nintendo recently invited me to play an early part of Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. And within that, I got to experience much of what there is in the Paldea region, including finding the world's first shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So,
that's why we're here.
Here are my impressions of Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. So, sit down, relax, and listen to everything.
Yes.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are the much
so is this from the trailer or
Pokemon games, and following from a massive departure from the norm that was Pokemon Legends Arceus, people have been wondering if these games will be more akin to Pokemon Sword and Shield or the new style of gameplay from Pokemon Legends Arceus. We were given access to over an hour of gameplay, and we can tend to
Hoppip! Oh, I know Jaywitz is going to be happy about Hoppip.
That's that question. It is an amalgam of both and is showing signs of being the most ambitious Pokemon title yet. We were let loose in the region of Paldea in the game shortly after the start. All three paths for Gym Challenge of Victory Road, facing Team Star in Starfall Street or facing the Titans in the Path of Legends, were made available to us, and we were told we could do whatever we want, take whichever path that we want. This feels like a sign of how the game truly is. It is a vastly open landscape. As all the paths were available to us, they did get flagged on the map, so you can easily go to whatever goal you desired at the pace in which you desire.
Okay, so you can flag destination spots on the map so that you can sort out where you're wanting to go. Okay, that's nice, because, you know, with all the different paths that you can take, it's nice to be able to just flag where you're trying to go, because otherwise it's going to give you all these... it would give you all these notifications of where else you can go for other story posts, but it's like, you want to do this one particular part of the story, so it's like, you just want to focus on that. You don't need to see all the flags for all the other places, so that's good.
This really gives players the choice of where to go rather than holding our hand and us being the passengers on the journey. That said, the characters do sometimes try to suggest that you go and do particular things, such as check on other characters to lead you to the other story points as you go through certain stories. For example, Nimona suggested that we check on Arven after we defeated the gym. Pokemon has been dabbling with open areas ever since 2016's Pokemon Sun and Moon, with the Pony Plains in Pony Island showing a small look at how the future may be. It then grew with a wild area in Sword and Shield, then the Isle of Armor, the Crown Tundra, and finally the Hisui region's 5 open areas in Pokemon Legends Arceus.
I'm sorry, I just gotta say, I love the way the ringtone works, and also I kind of want to read all this stuff too. So what does this say? And then you answer the phone. Hey, Florian. So I guess that's one of the main characters' canon names. Either that or that might just be the name they chose. So from what I can gather, the stony cliff titan likes to lurk somewhere in this rocky area. I had a look around, but I couldn't find any trace of it. Maybe it's way high up on a cliff or something? Nah, that's impossible. I don't think it'd be hiding somewhere that tricky, so don't go falling off any cliffs or anything trying to search it out somewhere too strange. Maybe just give... Okay, let's go really quickly. Maybe just give your map app a look if you're feeling stumped. Okay, now let's actually rewind so I can hear what he said.
You're only allowed in a small corner of Paldea, and that area itself was big. So often I found myself...
Actually, I should go back a bit more.
And the Isle of Armor, the Crown Tundra, and finally the Hisui region's 5 open areas in Pokemon Legends Arceus. The Paldea region really appears to be a final step into creating a big open world, and it really feels like it has hit the mark. We are only allowed in a small corner of Paldea, and that area itself was big.
Okay, so I'm guessing that means for, like, because, like, he said we, so I'm assuming that means him and other people who were invited to test out the game. So this is just the footage that he got during this event. Oh, it was a Shermish.
So often I found myself distracted from a main task just to see what was around the corner, up the cliffs, around the ridge. And I almost let the time that had been given to me run out before I hit any of the story paths because I was having such fun exploring and finding the Pokemon. That said, I eventually did take the Victory Road path and did the gym test of finding some flora throughout the town of Artisan. When that was done, I started the battle against Brassius and went through the battle much in the way you would in prior games, but there was definitely more of a cinematic flair going into the battle, with small cutscenes showing more personality for the gym leaders than we saw in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Navigating the world works well. Unlike Sword and Shield and Legends Arceus, you have a mini-map in the bottom right-hand corner to help you keep your location and know where you're going, and you can set up waypoints to make sure you're on the right path.
Yeah, I really like the fact that we get that mini-map because, it's nice being able to see the map on screen instead of having to constantly pull the map up, put it away, pull it back up, put it away, especially when you're trying to figure out if you're going the right direction or not, and you've got to just judge based off of where your avatar is, but it's based on what direction your avatar is looking and not which direction the camera is looking. So you could have your avatar facing this way and your camera's facing that way, and then the map is just like, okay, yeah, you're facing the right direction, but because your camera's facing the other way, you're like, okay, well, let me just go this way, and suddenly you're going the wrong direction.
Riding on Koraidon was a lot of fun and definitely sped up traversal, and it automatically shifted to climbing when I needed it, and I could glide at any time. Pokemon are found sprawled around.
Did he just throw a Pokeball at that Scatterbug and that be it?
To climbing when I needed it, and I could glide at any time.
Okay.
Pokemon are found.
Oh no! Did that start a Did that activate a battle? It didn't look like it really did anything.
Sprawled around the field. You no longer have to go for specific tall grass for random encounters, and as far as we can tell.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. There is another trailer that I haven't seen yet. I was like, wait, what's that Pokemon?
Random encounters no longer exist.
Bellybolt. Okay.
Game. Instead, this is more akin to the Legends Arceus game, where they can be just about anywhere. They're not always just standing around waiting for you either, but you can see them sleeping or just going about their day. At one point, I was gliding over the field on Koraidon and looked down and I saw two Pokemon racing underneath me. And
that sounds adorable.
I walked across the field and saw two deerlings sleeping amongst the grass while some other Pokemon flying behind them.
Okay, hold up. So this Pokeball over here that he walked up to, he actually had his Pokemon come out to collect the item. Do you have to send your Pokemon out to collect items? Because, like, I get why they did that in Legends Arceus, because, like, oh, it's a tree. Oh, it's a rock. Only a Pokemon would be able to break that rock. And the Pokemon is knocking stuff out of the tree. But, like, an item that's sitting down on the ground, a person can easily go and pick that up. So I hope that you can actually walk up to stuff and pick it up instead of having to send a Pokemon out every time you need to pick something up. Oh, and I forgot to mute it back.
And at one point, I walked across the field and saw two deerlings sleeping amongst the grass while some other Pokemon flying behind them.
Aww.
Sometimes you will also see a group of 4 or 5 of the species of Pokemon together, sometimes with one of the evolutions in the middle. There is a catch to this though, as the wild Pokemon's interactivity is closer to Pokemon Sword and Shield than Pokemon Legends Arceus. You won't be running away from a Pokemon's attacks here to protect yourself, but at worst they will run at you to start the encounter. And that is how wild encounters primarily run. Much like in Pokemon Sword and Shield, if you walk into a Pokemon in the Overworld, you'll start the wild encounter. But unlike Sword and Shield, you will not go to a random backdrop. Instead, the world is seamless and you will even see the wild Pokemon and even other trainers or other player characters around in the background.
That is really cool. It seems even more seamless than it was in Legends Arceus too. Because in Legends Arceus, you enter into a battle and then you're in the battle cutscene. Yes, you can still move around and you can even run from the battle by just walking away, but it still has a camera change. So because the camera just focuses on the Pokemon that are battling. You can still move your camera around and stuff, but Yeah, this seems like it's actually like you just run up, you start the battle, and then there's no camera change or anything. So that seems pretty cool.
Unlike Sword and Shield, you will not go to a random backdrop. Instead, the world is seamless, and you will even see the wild Pokemon and even other trainers or
Can I register my birthday?
other player characters around in the background as you battle. And like in Pokemon Legends Arceus, you can even move the camera around at will, but unlike Legends, you cannot move your trainer character. There is also another way to start a battle. If you're close enough to a Pokemon, you can aim with the ZL button and throw a Pokeball to get your lead Pokemon out to start a battle. Targeting will show you the name of the Pokemon as well as its level, and if you can sneak up on it.
Okay, so you can enter into a battle normally. Okay, he must have used the Let's Go feature for that then. Okay. So yeah, because there you get the UI going. Okay.
Aim with the ZL button and throw a Pokeball to get your lead Pokemon.
Also, for those of you who are in America and are unsure what he means when he says ZL, he means the ZL button. Because anywhere that's not in America, they say Z instead of Z.
Pokemon out to start a battle. Targeting will show you the name of the Pokemon as well as its level, and if you can sneak up on it, especially by crouching, and catch it unaware, there will be a small boost at the start of the battle.
Oh, yes! They brought back sneaking! Yes! I love sneaking! I love being able to sneak up on Pokemon and catch them unawares. Oh, I'm so glad that's sticking around.
But I was never able to activate that. We also saw a few wild Terra Pokemon. As has already been announced, these Pokemon will automatically terrestrialize in battle against you and offer a challenge. In addition to that, defeating them will earn you LP, which can be used for both the TM machine and even just purchasing items in Pokemon centers throughout Paldea. They'll have a special aura around them and you can see them from far away, so you can definitely tell when you're going into a wild Terra battle. Comparison would be more akin to the alpha Pokemon that you find in Legends Arceus roaming around the Hisui region. Trainers also fill out the overworld of Paldea, but unlike past games, you have to talk to them in order to start the battle. They will no longer spot you and force the battle to happen, which means if you do so wish, you can just basically skip every trainer in the Paldea region. They do have speech bubbles over their head, inviting you to battle as you approach, so you will know if there is a trainer ready for a battle. Items will also fill out.
Okay. So, wait, does it mean that they don't initiate the battle? You have to actually walk up to them? Because if there are no mandatory trainer battles in this game, that is going to be awesome. I'm going to rewind a bit just so I can hear that again. I'm also going to turn this up a little bit.
You approach, so you will know if there is
okay.
happen, which means if you do so wish, you can just basically skip every trainer in the Paldea region.
Oh,
speech bubbles over their head, inviting you to battle as you approach, so you will know if there is a trainer ready for a battle. Items will also fill out the overworld, and you can see them from far away with various auras shooting up into the sky.
So that's going to be a nice way to do a challenge run in these games. Is can you beat this game without any without battling any trainers? That would be an interesting challenge run.
Have a red aura for standard items and a golden aura for TMs. There are also some hidden items. This helps the overworld feel more densely packed, so you won't go far without seeing something. Another change to the prior traditional main series Pokemon titles, but following on from Legends Arceus, is that the time of day and weather are no longer tied to a real-time clock. Instead, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has its own day/night cycle.
Oh, cool.
There is also another randomized feature in...
See, okay, so I have to say, I like the fact that Legends Arceus has its own day-night cycle and it's not timed to your own clock. And the reason for it goes back to when I was a child playing through generations 2 and 3, and having to wait for it to actually be nighttime if I wanted to evolve a nighttime Pokemon like Eevee into Umbreon, for example. So yeah, and since these games are aimed at children, the fact that little kids don't have to wait until past their bedtime to be able to evolve certain Pokemon, that's actually going to be really, really good for that age bracket. And also same for, like, let's say you yourself are an adult, but you tend to work night shifts, so you sleep during the day. Well, now you're limited to nighttime encounters because you're not usually up during the day. Well, with this sort of day-night cycle, that makes it a lot easier for people who work night shifts to get their day encounters. So that's really cool.
in this game taking more inspiration from Legends Arceus than the date-based weather of Sword and Shield. For example, whilst I was playing, as I was approaching Artisan, shortly after it became night, a rainstorm hit, and unlike Pokemon Sword and Shield, the player character was constantly reacting to it. Whilst running through the town, the character was trying to shield themselves and their eyes from the rain so they could still see while running, which...
Okay, this is also something that I've always appreciated about Legends Arceus, because they do this in Legends Arceus too. Like, if you're standing there in the rain, your character will just brush the rain off of them. If they're in the Icelands, they'll actually shiver and grab their arms like they're cold. And that's really cool that that's going to be coming back too.
Which is a really nice small touch, which didn't exist in the prior Pokemon games. One of the things that the Pokemon community is constantly asking about is shiny Pokemon, and it is one which we were so lucky to confirm. Shiny Pokemon are, of course, back in this game, and much to our surprise, whilst we were playing through, we actually managed...
Ooh, was that a hidden item?
Shiny Pokemon are, of course, back in this game, and much to our surprise...
Yeah, there's a sparkle on the ground there, so it looks like hidden items are around too, but you still get that little sparkle that tells you that there's an item there, which they do in Sword and Shield as well. But I like that there's a little indicator there, unlike in the older games where you had to like know that there was an item there or just press the A button with every step that you'd make. And it's like, what? Like, I only know about one hidden item in previous games, and that was the rare candy behind the house in Celadon City. That's the only one I can ever remember. I do know that there's usually hidden items in the underground pathway too, but I usually just, take a step and press A, do that method. But I only ever do that in the underground pathway.
Whilst we were playing through, we actually managed to get the world's first shiny Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet outside of Game Freak and the Pokemon Company. As I was climbing up a cliffside, I got to the top, and amongst all the Pokemon, I found a shiny Skidoo.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's right. Continuing from Pokemon Let's Go and Pokemon Legends Arceus, shiny Pokemon are fully visible on the Overworld, which is an improvement over Pokemon Sword and Shield where you wouldn't know until you started a battle. We aren't quite sure if there was a special cue, visual or otherwise, due to how we approached the shiny Pokemon, but it was really something to climb up there and find the shiny Skidoo.
He doesn't seem to have a clip for it, though, which is a shame. It'd be really awesome if he actually had that clip.
Unfortunately, I can't keep it, which sucks, but it's getting the first full-on shiny Pokemon in the game is an experience I will never, ever forget.
Oh yeah, that is something really cool. Like, that is a lifetime achievement right there. Like, that is something to take pride in. It's like something you can actually brag about is to say that you found the very first shiny to be found in that game. And to be undisputable about it, too.
Battle-wise, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet definitely align more with Pokemon Sword and Shield. Gone is Legends Arceus' more simplified battle system with the agile and the strong styles of moves, and battles have returned to the more complex and full battle system of the previous main series titles. So your abilities and hold items and everything make a return, and despite that, battles are feeling much snappier and quicker than in Sword and Shield. Now, the animations are quicker and they feel, I don't want to say less cinematic, but the animations don't require your attention as much.
Yeah, well, there's pros and cons to that. Because, there are a lot of people that want the animations to be a lot more lively and animated. But at the same time, when you've got those really long animated animations for attacks, they can make things take a long time. If I'm doing a challenge run and stuff, I usually like to, a lot of times I like to turn animations off. If I'm streaming and stuff, I keep animations on, but that's mainly because it makes the visuals more interesting. But, like if I'm just doing my own playthrough, I usually turn the animations off because it takes so much extra time for the animations to play.
Terrestrialization certainly brings a new element to the battle and can give you a nice boost or type change to make things more suited to you. I didn't get to try it out too much in a deep way, but there's definitely a damage boost if you're terrestrializing to the same type you already were. And needing to recharge the Terra Orb definitely feels like a good way to keep the game balanced so you're not constantly pressing the win button like you were with Zed's moves in Pokemon Sun and Moon.
or with mega evolutions in X and Y, because that was kind of like pressing a win button too. It's just, oh hey, mega evolution, and then you mega evolve, and then suddenly you sweep the opponent's entire team.
However, some changes from Pokemon Legends Arceus have made it through. While you learn moves in a similar way to Sword and Shield, where if your Pokemon hits the level, it asks you if you want to learn the move, Scarlet and Violet does continue Legends Arceus' method of relearning and forgetting moves.
Yes! Oh, that's going to be such a huge quality of life improvement. Oh, I love that in Scarlet and Violet. I love being able to do that. Also, hold up, did he actually have to go in somewhere to do this?
While
to do
you learn moves in a similar way to
hairstyle?
Sword and Shield, where if your Pokemon hits the level, it asks you if you want to learn the move.
Okay. Oh, wait. Is this actually for... You can change your look at the start of the game! Oh my gosh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh my gosh, oh, that's so awesome! Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh, yes! Oh, yes! Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so awesome. I've been wanting this for so long, and we can actually do it now. We can actually change our look before the game starts. It says, are you sure? Are you ready to start the game with these settings? You can't change your language or name later. And it's like, ready, change hairstyle, change look. Yes! Oh my gosh, yes! Thank you! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh, that is like the best thing I've seen in this entire thing. It's like it has nothing to do with the shinies. It's this. This is the best part of the entire video. Okay. I better go ahead and continue.
Scarlet and Violet does continue Legends Arceus' method of relearning and forgetting moves. You can just do it from the menu at any time. You can also pull Pokemon out of your boxes at any time, just like in every game since Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. There's also a new feature where you can select the Pokemon and have it heal automatically using items from your bag to heal as required, which streamlines the process. The menus themselves have followed the streamlined process the game itself has. Now when you call up the menu with the X button, on the left you'll see your party and you'll be able to check their status, heal them and alter their moves on the fly, whilst on the right you'll get to have the bag, settings, save, and the Poke Portal, which is the game's method for connectivity. These are all visually striking and have a lovely style and goes with a more simplistic look, much like Pokemon Sword and Shield. The Pokemon Let's Go feature is also a fun thing to try out. If you send your Pokemon out into the overworld by throwing the Pokeball with the ZR button, it will follow you around, but you can press the button again to send it off in certain directions. This will let it get items for you, but it will also have quick battles against other Pokemon. These are very quick and often just one-hit actions, providing you with both experience and the items that the species of wild Pokemon will drop. These items have previously been revealed to be used for crafting TMs at the TM machine at Pokemon Center, so being able to do this helps make it feel more streamlined for a potential grind. So you can just send your Pokemon out and get the experience rather than having to go through the battles very slowly. While you do need to target the Pokemon at other Pokemon and it's not as automatic as it could possibly be, it definitely has a lot of potential, especially as it's necessary in the Starfall Street story path. Another small change is in regards to the trainer customization. In Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, you have the ability to change much about your character's appearance, except for the hair, at any time during your adventure. You can change the outfits, eye shape, and more without having to go to the Pokemon Center or a boutique. However, there's a massive amount of customization options that we saw, with boutiques allowing you to buy more clothes and hairdressers to change the hair. This time, however, there are no restrictions. All players can have all hairstyles or wear whichever clothes they want, regardless of the looks they started with at the beginning of the game.
Yes!
Every team has access to everything. You can also use emotes at any time through the D-pads whilst on the overworld. This can be done for pictures, because you can take selfies with you and your Pokemon, or you and other players, and this is especially useful when you go into multiplayer and bring other players in through the Union Circle. Following the single player portion of the demo, we were given a chance to test out the multiplayer features of the game, and multiplayer truly is a key aspect of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and frankly it felt amazing. It is an evolution of what we saw in Pokemon Sword and Shield through the Wild Area, Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor, where you can see the other players through your game. Now this can be done with only up to 4 players at once, but it's such a nice thing to see because you can go on the adventure with your friends.
And there's the thing about not about it being just 4 people. Yes, you are limited to 4 people, but it also means that you're only having to accept data from up to 3 other switches. unlike in Sword and Shield, where you're accepting data from as many switches are online at the moment. So, and that can actually bog the system down. So this will actually help to streamline that too, especially if you don't have that good of an internet connection.
And you can also organise battles, trades and raids far more easier than the usual way, and notifications will come up on top if players in the same union circle are doing them. An excellent touch was being able to see what your friends were doing even if you were inside battle and they can see you. It's this sort of multiplayer interconnectivity that people have truly wanted. All other multiplayer modes are still present. You can still do link trades, battles, surprise trades, plus the already announced battle stadium and even mystery gift, all without being in the same union circle. Just like Pokemon Sword and Shield, this uses link codes, so each player has to put in the same link code in order to connect to each other. Terra Raid battles feel like a response to the feedback that they received from Pokemon Sword and Shield's Max Raid battles. These are faster but are done in a way with the battle system in general. It's still turn-based, but you don't need to wait for other players to make their move in order to do your next one. However, there's still a bit of wait as it's not action focused. Unlike Max Raid battles, there's also no shields to slow the battle down, but there was an element partway through the battle which adds an extra bit of protection. This protection can be done far more easier with moves from terrestrialized Pokemon. All Pokemon can terrestrialize in these raid battles, but in order to access it, you need to have multiple moves hit the opposing Pokemon first. This works as a way to keep the battles balanced. If all players are knocked out at the same time, or the time limit runs out, you will lose the battle. It may have been because this was a different battle system at first, but we actually lost our first raid battle in testing against a 4-star Cryogonal. This is definitely an exciting notion as Max Raid battles lost their challenge fairly early on in Sword and Shield's life. All in all, on first play, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet...
Well, and then they get overly challenging on the 5-star, especially if you're just one person, and you have to deal with the AI being a butt. Because, like, oh, yeah, the AI decides to bring in a Magikarp and a Togepi! It's like, and you're in a 5-star den, it's like, why? Why is it Magikarp and Togepi?
Feels like it has so much potential to be a huge step forward of a franchise. There are so many surprises that have yet to be revealed, and if the potential holds throughout the game, Pokemon may have actually reached its new peak. We are so desperate to play more, to see what else there is in Paldea, and if a full game continues on what the small snippet we have played shows, then it is truly going to be an exciting time for Pokemon fans. Roll on November 18th. And I'd like to thank you all very much for watching this preview. And if you have liked this video, press the like button, share with your friends, and if you haven't already, press the subscribe button. And be sure to follow Serebii.net on all the social platforms for all Pokemon news. And until next time, see ya!
Yes, and I will be linking this video down below as well.
It was
so
cute.
let's go ahead and mute that. So yeah, this looks like it's going to be pretty awesome. I do kind of wish you could have gotten the footage of the shiny Skidoo. That would have been great. So it's a shame you didn't get that. But, yeah, like, the fact that we're gonna get Overworld shinies again, that is awesome. Like, so glad, because, like, we've only gotten that so far in Let's Go and Legends Arceus, so it was really disappointing that we didn't get that in Sword and Shield. So I'm really glad we're getting Overworld shinies again. And also the fact that you can customize your character at the start of the game. Yes! You can change your hair style and color at the start of the game, it looks like. And then later on, you can change other aspects of your look anytime you want. Just being out in the overworld, and it's like, yes! So that means that you get to do this as soon as you start up the game. So when you first create your name and everything, then you can choose your hairstyle and hair color, and then as soon as you actually get into the game, you can go in and change all of your eye stuff and makeup. Because we went through all this stuff before. You got your eye shape, color of your eyes, eyelashes. You know, I guess I can't tell if this is like because there are two eyelash things here. So I'm guessing this is supposed to be like eyelash shape and then eyelash color, and then eyebrows and eyebrow color. So you can have your eyebrows be a different color from your hair, which you actually can see right here. He's got this trainer set with blonde eyebrows but red hair. So you could give off that feeling of, yeah, my hair is dyed. you could tell from my eyebrows that I'm naturally blonde, but, I dyed my hair red. So that's a bit of storytelling that you can do with your character specifically, which is always really nice. And then you got you got your mouth shape and then lip color. And I love that. I love the customization that we're getting in this. It's going to be the best customization we've had ever. I'm so excited for it. Yeah, and I think he pretty much went over everything. There was not really much to discuss since he already kind of went over all of that. But yeah, this is actually really cool. I'm really excited. And if you guys are excited as well, then be sure to subscribe because we will be live streaming this game the day of release. I'm planning to do a 24-hour live stream. So from midnight when the game drops to midnight the following day, we will be playing this game, and I'm so excited. So be sure to ring that bell icon as well to never miss a video or live stream. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I hope you all have a very magical day.